What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. Yesterday, I was talking to my brother, Simple to P. You guys know he's a very close YouTube friend of mine. I haven't talked to him for a long time, but you know, he's my brother in the business. I got a lot of love for Simple to P, man. He's like, I feel like a guy I've known all my life, and but we never met. But we have a lot of similarities in some of the content ideas that we do. Although he has a different lifestyle than me, but he also deals in some of the trending things in the industry. In fact, before I was even doing celebrity, we was talking about both coming into this sector, and he is the one that alerted me more so to the article that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, and I saw this trending a little bit, but I just didn't take it so serious. But until he told me about it, and then it brought me to this particular interview that was on the YouTube channel called The Art of Dialogue. All right, now The Art of Dialogue is a great channel. Check them out. Subscribe. Go to the first company to the top. They're in this kind of the interview series things where they're interviewing, you know, famous artists on their platform. And the one artist that they interviewed was Danny Boy. Okay. Now, Danny Boy used to be a part of Death Row, and within the last, I believe, 2 to 3 years on DJ Vlad, it was he confirmed that he is now living a gay lifestyle and has been living one for a long time. And even back then he was living it, and there were suspicions about it and stuff like that. But he does have children, and at one time he was dealing with women. And one of the things he talked about was that he was having sex with Mary J. Blige when she's an adult. Okay. And at the time, Mary J. Blige was 24 years old. Okay. And according to Danny Boy, Mary J. Blige called up Suge Knight and asked him to send up Danny Boy to the hotel room. At the time, he's like 15 or 16. Okay. And Mary J. Blige enticed him into having, sexual intercourse and things like that. And that this happened for, many months. Okay. Now, this isn't the first time, Mary J. Blige has been accused of doing something, crazy or something to do with sexuality and stuff like that. But, this was, according to Danny Boy, it was inappropriate. And in California, this was illegal, because he's under age 18. All right. Here's something that I want to talk about, because, when it's Charlemagne the God, or Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, people like that, people who we have casted off into society as guys who were taking advantage of young women, they have done these things. They have used women underage and all of this, or, under drugs, whatever. Once a woman comes out and make an allegation, we've seen it even with Deshaun Watson as of recently, right? We've seen these T.I., right? We've seen these guys lose credibility. But if somebody like Danny Boy comes out and says this, I don't think nobody's going to believe him. Okay? Nobody's going to believe him. And I don't think, me personally, this is a guy who's pretty open with his life, open with his lifestyle. I don't think that he would have any reason to lie about it. Now, somebody could say, well, why does he take so long to talk about it now? Well, then my question to you is, why do women who's come out and say things, why do they take so long to discuss it? And the reality of it is that when it happens to men, or when it happens to black men, let's just be honest about this. Nobody cares. Okay? That's the real reality of it. Okay? If this happens to a man, or a man is being coerced into it by a woman, nobody cares. Because women can't do these things to men. That's the society that we live in, you know? If it's a young man, a young black man, and guys know about this in the black community, you know, it's always that the men are the predators of young girls and stuff like that. Listen, how many times do we know of women that's 30, 32, 25, 26, sleeping with some young man that's 16, 17 because he looked like he older, or they think he's cute, you know, 13, 14, 15 even, you know, and sometimes a lot of mamas can pick up on it. Ask a lot of black women. Women know each other, okay? Ask women if they can feel the energy of women looking at these, you know, at their sons in a different way, you know? Like, and it's not talked about. It's talked about when it's the man that's the predator, right? But how many times has it been in the black community that you guys know about? And also, it's cool, right? If it's like if an older woman is sleeping with you, it's like a guy's dream. Nobody ever wants to say like, oh man, you know, man, I'm getting taken advantage of, because it's something that you just don't talk about. You know, it's looked up as man, I really, you know, I really wish that she would do that to me. But in the reality of it, it's taking advantage of a young man. You know, but nobody cares about it when it happens to men all the time across the nation. Our nation, we're finding out teachers, don't matter the ethnicity here, white, black, what are they doing? You know, different races. Some of them are even married. They're having inappropriate relationships with these young men. And unless these young men can come out and prove it, y'all would not even believe them. And still, even the guy is somehow at fault. But a woman can come out and say something. She has absolutely no proof. You know? And then you guys want to come out and destroy the person. But in this case, you know, who is protecting the rights of a young man like Danny Boy? I mean, don't he deserve to not be exposed to that? Don't he deserve to, you know, be able to have his sexuality, his sexual sanctity as a young man, and not have somebody trying to take advantage of him, or, you know, because they can? See, that's the question that nobody wants to talk about, because it's only okay. You know, and as much as I'm from the protection rights of women, it's almost like if you are for the protective rights of women, then you have to ignore the protective rights of young black men. Then you wonder why some of these guys end up not being able to pair bond with women. They're not, because you know why some of these dudes have been having sex since they were young guys, 14, 15. And unfortunately, the people that showed them the ropes, I hate to say this, not all the time were women their age. A lot of times it was somebody older than them. You know, it was somebody older than them. It was somebody older than them that showed them into that lifestyle. You know, you just think that it's just women. No, it was somebody older than them. But when we talk about that, you know, it's almost like whenever black men go through something, and I hate to say a lot of black men feel this way, that a lot of sisters just are not sympathetic to those things. You know, they're only sympathetic to the things that are leveraged against them. But if somebody is doing something against a guy, well, he should deal with it, or it's not that serious, or no, it didn't happen, or now you just clout chasing and all this stuff. But you know, when you tell it to women, then, you know, if you tell a woman that she's clout chasing, then, oh, you know, you're a misogynist. Oh, these things don't have, you know, you're not protecting women's rights and all that. And I do believe that a lot of things happen to women and stuff like that they don't even talk about. I wouldn't doubt it because I'm from the Black community. I know how crazy some guys are. I know how disrespectful that some dudes are. I know that. You know, I know that. I know that. I know that. Okay. I know how some brothers can be. Okay. So if anybody knows, I know. I'm from the Black community. I understand. I've been there. I know that. But the problem is that nobody, when this black men, nobody cares at all. But that has to change. Black young men's lives are just as important as those of African American women in our community. They deserve to be able to enjoy their childhood also, just like women do. They deserve, listen to what I'm saying, they deserve to have that also. They deserve it. They deserve it. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but they deserve it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Dude Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Check out the first comment at the top. Check out the Black Perf t-shirts. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I am out. Don't forget the Black Perf t-shirts.